A pregnant woman walked into a biker bar asking for help. What happened next will leave you speechless. The rain poured down mercilessly that night. A cold, relentless storm that seemed to drain all color from the world. Through the darkness, a lone figure staggered forward. A woman drenched from head to toe, clutching her swollen belly with shaking hands. Her name was Marissa. 8 months pregnant, barefoot, a gash on her lip, clothes torn, breath ragged. She had been running for miles through winding back roads, fleeing from something, or someone, who had filled her with more fear than she'd ever known. She didn't know where she was headed. All she knew was that she had to keep moving. Her baby's life depended on it. Through the sheets of rain, a faint glow flickered in the distance. A neon sign reading, "The Devil's Disciples Bar." The name alone might have sent anyone else running the other way, but Marissa had no choice left. Her knees nearly buckled as she pushed open the heavy door. Inside, the bar fell silent. About a dozen men turned to look at her. Leather jackets, tattoos, heavy boots, and the smell of oil and beer thick in the air. Their eyes narrowed, confused, cautious, curious. She looked like she'd stumbled out of another world and into a den of lions. Her hair clung to her face, her cardigan soaked through, and her eyes, full of raw desperation, locked on a large man with a gray beard and ink-covered arms. His vest bore a single word: President. Marissa's lips trembled as she whispered, "Please, I need help. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the idea that even the hardest hearts can still choose compassion, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Stories of Kinness. Because this is one story you won't forget." The man she'd spoken to was Reed, a biker who had endured more pain than most could survive. He'd buried his brother, lost his family, and carried a guilt he never spoke about. For years, he'd been trying to rebuild his club's name, to turn it from something feared into something that stood for loyalty. But when Marissa stumbled into the bar that night, shaking, soaked, and broken, redemption was the last thing on his mind. He was wondering what kind of trouble had just walked through his door. Marissa could barely stand. She sank to her knees on the cold tile, hands clasped as if in prayer. "Please," she gasped. "Someone's after me. He said he'd kill me if I left. I just need to make it through the night." The men exchanged uneasy glances. A pregnant woman, terrified and pleading for help, standing in the middle of a biker bar. It sounded like a story none of them wanted to be part of. But Reed couldn't look away. There was something in her eyes, a pain he recognized deep in his soul. He knelt beside her and noticed the bruises on her wrists. She had been through hell. Without hesitation, he said, "Get her a towel. Some water." They led her to a back booth, wrapped her in something warm, and listened as she spoke through trembling lips. Her voice was barely above a whisper. She told them about Carl, her husband, the man who once promised to love her, but instead turned her life into a nightmare. When she became pregnant, his temper worsened. That very night, after she told him she was leaving, he had thrown her against a wall. So she ran. No shoes, no plan, just hope. Reed was silent for a long moment. Then he turned to his men. "No one touches her. No one questions her. She stays here tonight." And with that, he made a decision that would change all of their lives. They set up a cot in the office, brought her hot food, and covered her with a handmade blanket someone's mother had once made. One of the younger bikers, Tanner, found her dry clothes from storage. Through tears, Marissa whispered, "Thank you." None of them had heard those words said like that, with so much sincerity, in a very long time. As the hours passed, Reed sat outside the office door, a beer in his hand but his thoughts far away. He thought about his daughter, the one he hadn't seen in 10 years, and how she used to cling to his arm when she was little. He remembered the choices he'd made, the ones that drove her away. Life sometimes gives you rare, sacred chances to do the right thing, even when the world thinks you're the worst kind of man. Just before dawn, the sound of an engine shattered the calm. A truck pulled up outside. Headlights sliced through the rain. Reed stood slowly. "Stay with her," he ordered. The door burst open. A large man, wild-eyed and furious, stumbled in. "Where is she?" he roared. "Where's my wife?" The room went still. Reed stepped forward, his voice firm. "You need to leave." Carl's face twisted with rage. "She's mine. You hear me? Mine." He lunged toward the office, but Tanner and 2 others grabbed him, holding him back. The air was thick with tension. A storm within a storm. Reed's jaw tightened. "Not anymore," he said quietly. "You lost that right when you laid your hands on her." A moments later, the police, called by one of the bikers earlier, arrived and took Carl away. From behind the office door, Marissa had heard everything. When she finally stepped out, she saw Reed sitting alone at a table, head bowed, rain still dripping from his jacket. She walked over, tears streaming down her face, and whispered, "You saved my life." Reed looked up, his voice low and rough. "No, sweetheart, you saved ours." Days passed. Marissa stayed until she found a safe place to go. The bikers fixed her car, gave her some money, and promised she'd never be alone again. When she finally left, she hugged each of them. Men once feared by everyone, now standing silently, trying not to cry. Reed walked her out and pressed a folded note into her hand. An address. "If you ever need us," he said, "we're here." Months later, a letter arrived at the bar. Inside was a photo of a newborn baby boy wrapped in a blue blanket. On the back, in soft handwriting, were the words "His name is Hope. Because that's what you gave us." The men stood quietly around the bar that night. Some smiled. Some wiped their eyes. Reed held the photo the longest, his rough hands trembling. Maybe life hadn't given him a second chance with his own child, but helping Marissa had healed something inside him he didn't know was still broken. If this story touched your heart, please take a moment to like, share, comment, and subscribe to Stories of Kindness. Because kindness doesn't come from perfection. It comes from courage, compassion, and the choice to care.